Hello and welcome. I'm Peasant, and I'm now going to be playing against Prussia 6 with Earth. Now, this is a post-game play because I was making a video about how to beat Prussia, and I thought, geez, I've not actually beaten Prussia in ages. So here we are. This is Earth. Let's fire it up. Let's get it going. We're on board C. I think it's not a bad board. I have the idea that I want to set up for make a sacred site in here. For the counterattack in here and prevent the build of the Year of Perfect Storms. There's a bit of a feels like a slightly weak first turn, honestly, but I think it worked out quite well. Especially getting coastal lands as the second explore. That's just lucky. That's just lucky. I suppose we could have got a H2 mountain as well. So going for the sacred site. The nice thing about going for that is that the zero range place doesn't feel like a disadvantage when you set up for it turn one. This is an interesting choice. It's an interesting choice. I think Cleansing Floods is pretty tempting, aside from my presence placement. The threshold is kind of... You're not going to get that as Earth. Not without significant outside help. Vigor also looks kind of good. You can use it to... save yourself some trouble in that top desert. Vengeance of the Dead I just don't think does enough on its own to be justifying. I mean, especially with Poison Land actually doing quite a lot. That's what I end up taking. And here it's just getting rid of Year of Stillness. I think especially against Prussia. Prussia 6 is just, you don't have time to do very much Year of Stillnessing. So you've not worth hanging on to in the long run. So this is a somewhat ballsy play. Going straight into Poison Land. I actually think this is quite. I quite like this playthrough in general, so that's why I'm doing a talk over for it. It was just a practice game that I was basically just recording, and we just let 3 blight through. But we are Earth. We are so good at cleaning up blight. It's kind of ridiculous. And I think we even get some help from the events in this game already. So, yeah, possibly... I mean, I'm just going to blight the islands. turn 2. Aid for Lesser Spirits. I spent a while thinking about this. It's certainly one of my favourite of the blight cards from a pure fun point of view. And I know we're not here to have fun. But yeah, I went for it. Veil the Night's Hunt, I thought could have been interesting with the setting up Rituals of Destruction. But I think I made the right choice by going with Portents. Because the Prussian deck is actually pretty slim, the Prussian Fear deck. It's something like 3-4-4 or something like that at level 6. So an extra 2, most probably 3 fear a turn is pretty good. And I was obviously heavily banking on my Guard the Healing Land to tidy up some of the mess I'd made. It's pretty messy. We've got 1 blight left. It's a luxury. It's a luxury. I think I was very briefly contemplating my innate there. Doesn't happen very often. So we have the coastal ravage in that jungle, so it's going ravage into build, so it's a nice thing to defend. The thing I don't realise here is that I actually can't target my Guard the Healing Land because I don't have an adjacent sacred site. Some peanut went and put blight everywhere, so it's going to take me a while to get there. So I apologise for this. I'm here. I'm going to do some gratuitous rewinding as well. Well. The beauty as well of having Portents of Disaster is me being confused, waving my mouse in frustration. I don't actually have my other mouse, but I'm trying not to commentate using the other mouse pointer because I think it means I use too many euphemisms when I'm being clear about what I'm talking about. So we take it right back, and instead of having a game-ending ravage in that coastal jungle, we go for something where we lose a little bit less. Well, maybe a little less speedily, but we just lose a little bit less because we can now just let it go. Just relax. relax and enjoy this lovely blighted island that we see before us. But Vile Strength of the Earth likes nothing more than getting his cleaning apron on and tidying up a mess like this. And we go straight into being offered some of the best powers in the game from our point of view. Winds of Rust and Atrophy is just incredible. What a card. Pen is widely seen as broken. I mostly think that Winds is better. Forgetting the much it would be nice to try and squeeze a bit more blight onto this island. I don't think the game would still be going. So of course with Winds we can defend that top jungle, which gets us a counterattack, which works for us. Of course, there's me again forgetting that I can't target in that land and gambling that that beast might deal with that explorer in that bottom jungle, and I don't think it does. I don't think it does. We now are offered the chance of the opportunity to lose, so I choose to lose some presence instead, and that's a remove, not a destroy, unfortunately. So I don't get my Portent Sphere. But it does prevent a build, so, it's all right. It's okay. I think at this point I'm thinking, oh, actually, I might win this one. This really was just a kind of practice game. I've started recording my random games just because some of them prove interesting. So, of course, when you're placing this Prussian town, you don't want to put it anywhere too exciting. You just want to put it off to the side because it does happen before the Explorer, so it will be a source of explorers. So yeah, we've got no Ravagers to worry about, which is nice. We've got a build, and we've got the Rituals of Destruction kind of all set up there. So it's a fairly straightforward. Let's just do a little bit of tidying kind of turn, and a chance to get a bit more energy. We're actually taking the energy growth option and maybe setting up in that internal wetland to make a sacred site so we get some defend in there. I've not used Draw of the Fruitful Earth at all in this game, despite the fact it is very, very powerful. I've just been doing other things, all right? Just been doing other stuff. And then, yeah, I do have Gift of Strength, which surprised me that I was able to reuse Portents, actually. I was not expecting that. But I'm not going to argue. Prussia 6 is with Earth was a confrontation, something I did record it on my old channel, and I didn't win, but there was a little bug in the game which meant that some blight didn't get placed. So it was there is me in Prussia 6, especially with Earth. We've got history. So here's me trying to read probably. Not a lot going on that card. So I think we get a nice... do we have a build prevention in here? Yeah, we can prevent that internal wetland build. And that's why I was so pleased to have Portents, because it was consistently... Even, it didn't need anything else. The other option I had of pushing Dahan around kind of required me to be using Rituals of the Dahan all the time, which, while good, is also vulnerable to events. Your kind of cluster of 3 Dahan, that might not exist if you get unlucky with the events. So, of course, we'll destroy the buildings, get more fear going. And we've now got a couple of fear cards queued up. And in theory, that's central. In theory, we're almost okay. We just need to defend that central wetland. But the event card can still drop a blight. So I think I take a fairly safety first turn here. Especially we've got the wetland into wetland, which I think is the key to doing well against Prussia, or I was arguing that in the video that I decided wasn't good enough, and that I thought I should get some more practice against Prussia before I record. But yeah, when you've got Ravage into build in the same land type, if you can get a nice counter on that and clear it, you're onto a winner. Onto a winner. But you'll notice there's only one city on the board. But I'm just going to do more cleaning. So I think I cleaned from the most stacked land because that's hardest for me to defend. But I have great defend cards, so maybe that was a mistake. It might have been better to remove from the desert instead, because then I could just let the desert go. Especially as there's blight in both deserts. I think that actually is a small misplay. So we've been graciously offered the chance to place down some blight. But the nice thing is once you get the event, you can't then be scuppered by that same event. So, you know, I could have just removed some presents from that inland wetland, knowing that it was okay. The fear card, of course, comes in. Saves the day. Saves the day. And I wonder how much fear that Portents of Disaster totted up over the course of the game. That might have been an interesting thing to track. Quite a lot. Yeah, quite a lot. I think just preventing the town build there is all right. So we get our extra Portents fear there. And now you have doubled up wetlands again. But that's fine. That central wetland's now kind of sorted. And have I spotted the win? I think I have spotted the win. So yeah, sorry about that. I just took all the tension and just got rid of it. Or am I joking? Am I joking? I might be joking. No wins here. So there is that top jungle ravage, and I just don't think I noticed it till quite late in my calculating on this turn. Just didn't notice it. But that's the beauty of the fast blight removal, is that I can just remove blight from somewhere else, and it doesn't matter that much. Really doesn't matter. Oh, it looks like I'm really calculating here. Bless me. Bless you, peasant. Trying so hard. Did I really look at another major? God, I can't remember doing this at all. Oh, yes. Now I remember. Interesting rap, right? I like rap a lot, especially with Vital, because you've always got an opportunity to place a presence in with a cluster of Dahan. Except, interestingly, on the turn where you gain it. I think if there was presence in with my Dahan, I would have done this turn, probably. And just put some Dahan in with the in that coastal wetland, but I wasn't able to do it this turn, and I wanted to try and close the game out ASAP. I think with Heavy Heart, I forget draw now, and yeah, what world am I living in where I keep rituals over draw? Well, this is this world. That's the nice. I mean, Tiger's Hunting, I think, is just a fantastic card. I mean, we also the blight restriction on it is not such a problem for us because we can clean up blight. You know, we will mostly have a fairly clean island, even if we let it go to the complete mess it was earlier. So yeah, I think at this point I'm pretty much setting up to try and win a Terra 3 victory by clustering some beasts in that land there, so that I can then next turn kill that city in the fast phase. Because I actually can't use Tiger's Hunting on the northern bit of the map. And just because I'm not in that top jungle. Okay, we get a bonus here. This is a misplay, I think, actually. Because I could have... Yeah, this is definitely a misplay. I can gather a Dahan and... Well, I don't know. This is debatable. If I'd gathered the Dahan into that top desert, I can prevent the city build. Which I think is just better. There would be one more blight on the island. You know, that's also true. But it would mean we could win... Actually, no, I think it's much the same, actually, thinking about it. Yeah, I think it's actually much for muchness. I was... Because if there wasn't a city there, then we've just got a very clear win in the fast phase next turn. And especially with events in the game, you really want to avoid... you know, like I was playing a practice game earlier of Thunder Speaker against Prussia 6. Thunder Speaker and events do not mix very well. It's just squeaking the fear out of them. That, by the way, if you're wondering why I was doing that. I think I've spotted it now. I've spotted it because, of course, we have wins. We have tigers. We've got the two tigers already in there to get the city killed in the fast phase, and so now it's just a matter of doing it. So, yep. So that's quite a satisfying run actually. It was not expected, it was just a practice game, just a practice one. But I thought it'd be good to actually have a win against Prussia for because I was making this little flappy head video about how to beat Prussia. And I think this demonstrates, possibly being reckless. I mean, we did get a big hand up from the advice from small animals blight card. Oh, that's a bit abrupt. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. If you like the video, like the video. Also, misplays. If you do see misplays, timestamp them, because I will not. It would take me about 5 times as long to find what you're talking about, and sometimes I don't have time. So, yeah, busy peasant apparently. Anyway, till next time. Thumb here. Push.